Hello everybody, it's Darren here from Crazy Bulgarian Adventure. Thank you again for taking the time and coming viewing the blog. So it is currently 27 degrees Celsius. It is hot, very hot. Don't know why, but in this half of the house, which is the bedroom, it's cooler than the other side. The other side's roasting. Got a fan on there, curtains closed, and the dogs are in there cooling off. So somebody on the Facebook page recently made a question following the last video about the cost of living in Bulgaria and what sort of income you needed in order to live in Bulgaria on a monthly basis. So I want to talk a little bit about that. So before I do, I just want to give the Facebook page another little kind of prompt. If you aren't yet liking the Facebook page and you're watching these videos, I might suggest that you go and check it out and like it, just because there's other little snippets that I don't put videos about. Like for instance, there was a Bulgarian wedding on Saturday, and I ended up going to kind of a special ceremony. If you want to know more about it, then go and check out the page. Alright, so anyway, getting back to the cost of living. Okay, so somebody said, how much do you need to comfortably live a month? There is no set amount, but it's a lot less than the UK. Technically, working out all the finances and to live month to month, not really having anything else to show for it, but living comfortably, I would say for two people, you could live on around about 400 English pounds a month. But bearing in mind that is including things like growing your own vegetables, maybe having a little bit of livestock that you can feed throughout the year, where you're going to be more dependent on the veg that you produce than veg you go out and buy. Saying that at the same time, there is a lot of markets where you can buy veg really cheap. For instance, a kilo of potatoes I saw at the market the other day for around £2.50. So that's just a little over £1 for a kilo of potatoes. Whereas I know in the supermarkets back in the UK, you could buy a bag for about a small bag of white potatoes for around about £2. So that's an example. Bread, another common thing. In the UK, I would buy from Lidl, which was called, I think it was a Bloomer loaf. It was freshly baked, and it was around 80 pence to £1. Here, you buy them for one lev, so that's about 30 or 40 pence for a loaf of bread. Milk is around, it's not really, it might be a pint, it might be a bit more, is about 1.97, so you can buy it for under £1. So on average, about for a pint of milk is less than £1. What other things? Okay, meat, right, meat, I can't really give you weight, but I bought a joint of veal. Now this is cheap. The veal, it was about this size. Okay, it's in the freezer right now. It's about this size. It's a decent amount of veal, and it was 15 leather. So let's say that's about maybe £5 to £6 for veal. That's definitely a lot cheaper here than it is in the UK. Although beef isn't it's a meat you can get, but it's only as and when. For instance, you can buy things like beef sausage and beef mince in Lidl, and it still works out a lot less. What I'm going to do is there is a link where you can actually have a look at some cost comparisons compared to the UK and Bulgaria, and that goes along things like rent and utilities. Utilities is a good one. Last month the electric bill came in and I was really worried because I had the dryer running, we had power tools running, you know, lights on, the fridge and freezers on, and I was really scared about opening the bill. It was about 21 lev, so that's about 21 lev, maybe about £8 for the month. Although in the winter, I know it is more expensive because you are using a lot more electric in the winter than what you are in the summer. But still, £8, you know, that's cheapest. In England, I had solar power, and even with solar power, it wasn't as cheap as that in England, is where it is here. The water for 5 days, the water was billed because we haven't run a full month cycle until the next billing cycle. That was 188, so water was less than £1. Wood is going to be your main source of heating. That's going to be around about 60 lev per cubic meter. That's a lot of wood, a cubic meter. And 60 lev is going around about 23 to 27 pounds for your wood. And then obviously you're only going to be using wood in the winter, not in the summer, because, you know, days like this, there's no actual need for heating. Hot water, because the villagers don't have gas. It's not pipe gas. You can get gas for, you know, things like hobs, but it is bottled. And then again, the gas is not that expensive. It's less than 11 litre. It's around about 98 statinky. The last time a bottle was filled, it was about 5 litres of gas, and it came in at around about just under 5 lev. So around about, you know, 230 to 270 for 2 litres of gas, which really isn't bad. But how you heat the water here is it's an electric boiler. I believe in the UK they call them immersion boilers, and it's an electric boiler. We haven't had our electric boiler running all the time because at the moment it's running off a plug, because we have wiring to do in the house. So we only put the hot water on as and when we need to do it. So what will happen though is the heater will heat the water up until it reaches its temperature and it'll click off. And then what it'll do is it'll just regulate that temperature, whatever you've set it to. So it won't constantly run, so you don't have to worry about it, you know, running your electric up. So I can't really give accurate estimate as to what it's going to cost you. I really have no idea as to that part. The other thing is to do with the water. We're recycling the water with things like out of the washing machine and that for the plants, because if we use the water out from the mains, we're paying for that, which obviously why use water unnecessarily when you've got wastewater, which the plants are absolutely thriving on the wastewater, so there's no real need. Plus as well, the water that I do from the dishes, I never ever throw it away. I always reuse it for the plants. The plants absolutely love it. So it's another thing that I've learned very quickly here. So that's basically it in regards to cost of living. I would have given you some price comparisons, but as I say, I think the best thing would be is to click on the link below. But yeah, it's going to be around about, for 2 people, you know, to make a decent income, it would be from about 400. That's okay, you know, 600 comfortable. Anything, you know, for a family, I'm going to say, to be on the safe side, I'm going to say 600 to 1,000 pound a month, but that's just my opinion, okay? And that's living really decently. That's for going out with meals and drinks and things like that. If you're not planning on going out for meals and drinks, like a lot of Bulgarians here, they make their own wine, they make their own rakia. You could buy beer. I mean, that's another thing as well. Beer here. If you can hear the panting, I'm really sorry Phoenix is in here because I can't get him to go in the living room. Beer here is, you buy a 2 litre bottle. It depends on what's on offer. We tend to either buy Zagorka or Kamenitsa, and it's around $1.98 a bottle. So it's less than £1. It's about 80 pence for a 2 litre bottle of beer. And we normally buy them in big 6-packs, which last us all week. Sometimes they last even longer. And, you know, temperatures like this, you're going to be drinking probably more than less. I think I heard, I don't know if it was either a 75 or a litre bottle of Jameson's whiskey as well, was 22 lev. 22 lev. That's very cheap. That's around about £8. £8 for a bottle of Jameson's whiskey. So it's well worth, you know, having a look at different things. If you buy branded, so things like Bacardi and Smirnoff, yes, you are going to be paying more for them. You are going to be paying more for them. But if you buy the non-branded, so, you know, just your ordinary white rums, whiskey, vodka, you know, things like that, you're going to be paying a lot less. But whiskey's very, very popular here. Bulgarians will either drink rakia, whiskey, or beer, or wine. Although the wine they do like to top up with lemonade. You know, it just takes a little bit of the bitterness out. Me, I don't mind it. As well with the wine, I bought 5-gallon bottle of wine. No, I'm totally telling a lie. Maybe it was a gallon, not 5-gallon. Yeah, maybe it was a gallon. It was like this by this, and it was 5.30. 5.30. So it was less than the price of an ordinary bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon in the UK, and this is local. The local shop sells it. So wine as well is really, really cheap here. The best thing I would say is if you were planning on coming over is to go to, you know, your local supermarket. They have Lidl here. They have Kaufland here, though those are the two main ones where I live. I think that there's other ones such as Metro, there might be Jumbo as well. So it's worth having a look in just to have a look at what the prices of some of the things are. And then you can make a decision, you know, based on that. So I am sorry about that. I've waffled on a bit and I haven't give you any true firm facts about it. But as I say, the easiest and best way is to do the research yourself. Have a look at the link that I provided before. If you did like this video and you want to see more, please feel free to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. The next video that I'm going to do is, as you know of the tour, the kitchen. The new kitchen is being fitted. That starts on Wednesday. So the next video is probably going to be the before and after. So I'm very, very excited to show you that. At the moment, it's all a bit upside down downstairs, which is exactly where I'm going to go now and see what I can sort out. So thank you very much for taking the time to watch the video, guys. I will catch up with you all very, very soon. Until next time, signing out. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.